Hey, what's up guys? It's TechnoTuner. I'm back again today with something a little different than our usual deck profiles. Today we're going to be taking a look at a couple test hands of how to play Thunder Dragon. Given that my deck is a going second deck, we're going to be taking a look at two hands to where we can go starting going second to potentially OTK our opponent, and one going first hand to see what we can set up as a possible way to prevent our opponent from moving forward, or at least hinder them in some forward manner. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look and see what we can draw into. Go ahead and put this into view for you guys. I'm sorry that you cannot see the graveyard and the deck zone. I do have to play with a bit of minimized space. So in this case, we have Batteryman Solar, Gold Sarcophagus, Thunder Dragonhawk, Melody of the Awakening Dragon, and Bestial Magnemite. We opened up crazy. So now, as most people are wondering, like, well, what do you do with this hand? It's not much. Well, since we're going second, we can still see what we're going to draw. So in this case, we actually get to do a couple of fun things. We can activate Melody of the Awakening Dragon, discarding Darkest Diablos, Lord of the Lair, to then add up to 2. This is what I would also use as Ash Bait, because the rest of the combo is going to be pretty simple moving forward. So from here, what we can add is a Chaos Dragon Legionnaire, wherever he went, and Chaos Emperor, the Dragon of Armageddon. These two cards are very beneficial and help us get through a lot of stuff. So what are we going to do next? Well, in this case, I would recommend activating Gold Sark, allowing us to banish a card from deck to hand, or from deck. What we're going to do is banish Thunder Dragon Roar. This card will allow us to special summon one Thunder Dragon monster directly from our deck to the board. In this case, I would summon Thunder Dragon Dark, because when Thunder Dragon Dark is sent from the field to the graveyard or is banished, we can then add any Thunder Dragon card from our deck to our hand. So, up next, I'm going to normal summon Batteryman Solar. Well, what does Solar do? Solar lets us send from our deck to our graveyard a Thunder monster. In this case, what we're going to end up sending is, if I can find him. There we are. One Thunder Dragon. I probably overlooked one. Which is going to help us when we get to the point of where we need to banish monsters to summon monsters. Next, what we're going to do is summon Bestial Magnemite by banishing a Thunder Dragon, which is going to help us by activating the effect of Bestial Magnemite to where at the end step we can add a card from our deck to our hand. That is specifically a dragon monster. From here, what we can do is go Thunder Dragon Hawk, discard Hawk to summon out Thunder Dragon itself. You're asking, well, why not Thunder Dragon Roar? You'll see that here in just a minute. Since a monster was summoned from the a Thunder monster with special summon, we get a token. We'll go ahead and use this card here as a token. Well, we have a full board. What are we going to go into? From here, we're going to take the Batteryman token and the Thunder Dragon Roar and go directly into Cross Sheet. Well, since Thunder Dragon Dark has been sent to the graveyard in this case, what we can do is then add a Thunder Dragon card. We're going to add Thunder Dragon Fusion. This is going to allow us to recur back our Thunder Dragons into our deck once we get the space. All right, so next we're going to go Batteryman Solar and Bestial Magnemite directly into our Chaos Angel. This monster is really great. We get a free banish, and it's a 3,500 attack beater. But since it was summoned to an arrow that Cross Sheep has, we can choose to activate the effect, or we can wait until we do our next summon, which is right now. This is where I'm going to take Thunder Dragon, and since we've already discarded a Thunder Dragon monster for its effect, or activate a Thunder monster effect in hand, we can then tribute summon, or technically tribute fusion, for Thunder Dragon Colossus. Now, since Cross Sheep has been, Thunder Dragon Colossus has been summoned to a arrow that Cross Sheep is pointing to. We'll go ahead and move these down a little bit. I'm sorry, I'm seeing that we're now out of zone. We'll go ahead and activate Cross Sheep effect to revive back a level 4 or lower monster while increasing the attack of all monsters currently on the board by 700. So we'll go ahead and summon Batteryman Solar back to the field. All right, so what do we do from here? Well, in this case, what we can do is we can banish a Thunder Dragon and a Thunder Dragon Roar and a Bestial Magnemite. And we'll go directly into Chaos Dragon Levianeer. Since light and dark monsters were both used, you can destroy up to 2 cards on the field. So what we can do is destroy 2 more cards on our opponent's side of the board, allowing us to do more damage. Well, that's not all. We're going to go ahead and special summon Chaos Emperor by banishing Darkus Diabolos, Lord of the Lair, and Thunder Dragon Hawk. Now, they won't activate their effects, but we get to summon Chaos Emperor. We can choose from here to do the effect to destroy. You can pay half your life points, send as many cards you control to the graveyard, except from the extra monster zone. And if you do send cards your opponent controls to the graveyard, and then burn them for, I think, 300. Yeah, 300 damage each. But we're not going to go ahead and do that. What we're going to do is take these 2 and overlay. And we're going to overlay directly into number 38, Hope Harbinger Dragon Titanic Galaxy, which is very beneficial if we're going to have to live through another turn. Finally, what we'll activate is Thunder Dragon Fusion. This will let us fusion summon using Thunder Dragon Hawk, Thunder Dragon, and Thunder Dragon Dark in our banish zone by shuffling them back into the deck into Thunder Dragon Titan. Thunder Dragon Titan is just a 3200 big boy beater who is a lot of fun, especially if you get his pop effects off. So what are we looking at right now? Well, we have Batteryman Solar, which is 1500 attack. We have Cross Sheep, which is at 700. Chaos Angel, which is at 42. Thunder Dragon Colossus, which is at 33. A 3000 attacker Hope Harbinger, and a 3200 attack Thunder Dragon Titan. These all allow us to do a lot more damage, so we can just start swinging. Well, if we can't finish that up, what we can do is take these 2 and go directly into SP Little Knight in the main phase 2. We won't activate the effect of Banish, but we can use it as an interruption during our opponent's turn. So we'll have that up there. But yeah, that's one hand going second, which is allowed us to prevent our opponent from searching. We've banished a monster. We've also made it to where our monsters can't attack or can't be destroyed by battle or activate monster effects. We have a pop if we discard a thunder monster, a banish during our opponent's turn, and if they activate a spell, we get to eat it and negate it. Which is pretty freaking great. All right. So, going into our second test hand. Give me 1 second to shuffle all this back up. It's going to be probably a little bit different. That was probably one of the nuttier hands I've had in a while. So from here, we'll be able to go and see what we can do with that. Sorry, I take a little bit to put my extra deck back into a specific state. I just order everything. But anyways, aside from that, we'll go ahead and start off. We're going second again. And okay. This is, wow. All right, so here's a lot of things that we can do. We'll go ahead and activate Thunder Dragon effect in hand to discard to add 2. In this case, we are going to add both Thunder Dragons so we can have some discard fodder. We'll go ahead Thunder Dragon and Thunder Dragon. We'll next activate Gold Sarcophagus to banish Thunder Dragon Roar from deck, to summon a Thunder Dragon Dark from our deck to our board. So, from here, we'll go ahead and activate Tuning to allow us to get Quick Draw Synchron from our deck to our hand. So we'll go ahead and add the Quick Draw Synchron, and then we'll send the top card of our deck to the graveyard, which is Assault Synchron, which is really good as well. It's another dark target. We'll go ahead and special summon Quick Draw Synchron by discarding a Thunder Dragon. We'll then Synchro Summon with these two, allowing us to go into Ultima Tzolk'in up here in the extra monster zone. Thunder Dragon Dark effect will activate in graveyard, allowing us to add a Thunder Dragon card. In this case, we'll add Thunder Dragon Hawk, since we already have the fusion. In this case, we'll go ahead and set the one Thunder Dragon fusion from our hand to the board, which will trigger Ultima Tzolk'in effect to allow us to special summon Crystal Wings Synchro Dragon. So we already have a monster negate now on the board. We'll next go ahead and activate Thunder Dragon Hawk, discarding it, to special summon a Thunder Dragon Roar from our banish zone. From here, we'll go ahead and tribute the Thunder Dragon Roar to summon the Thunder Dragon Colossus in attack mode. We'll say that in our center zone. Up next, we'll go ahead and activate Melody of Awakening Dragon to discard the Thunder Dragon to add two monsters. We'll add Chaos Dragon Levianeer, and we will add Chaos Emperor Dragon of Armageddon. From here, we'll special summon Chaos Dragon Levianeer by banishing one Thunder Dragon Hawk, and another Thunder Dragon. So which lets us special summon one monster from our graveyard in defense position. In this case, we're going to go ahead and special summon back out the Thunder Dragon itself. And we'll take these two and go into we'll go directly into Cross Sheet. Not that we have any targets for it, but it still can help us with the attack boost or attack lowering. We'll next activate the Chaos Emperor, the Dragon of Armageddon in our hand. To summon it by banishing a light and a dark, we will banish the Thunder Dragon Roar and the Thunder Dragon to summon it. We'll next overlay these two into number 38 Hope Harbinger at the Arrow of Cross Sheet. So if we had a level 4 or lower in the graveyard, which we do, which is the Assault Synchron, we can then summon the Assault Synchron to our board. We'll next go ahead and activate Allure of Darkness, because we're just going to see if we can get anything. Well, we didn't, and we did lose 2 cards. So, in this case, what we're going to do next is we can either take the Bestial Dispater, or we can go, we can take Assault Synchron and Crystal Wings Synchro Dragon and go into Bestial Dispater. Or we can go Assault Synchron and Thunder Dragon Colossus into our Chaos Angel. In this case, what we're going to do is take these two and then go into Bestial Dispater, because there's an effect that we're going to try and use. So we will next go and activate our Thunder Dragon Fusion, allowing us to fusion summon into Thunder Dragon Titan by shuffling back 3 Thunder monsters, or Thunder Dragon monsters. We'll do 1 Thunder Dragon Roar, and 1 Thunder Dragon Hawk from our Banish Zone back into our deck. So from here, well, what do? Bestial Despater effect. If your opponent activates a monster effect, you can target one of your banished monsters and shuffle into the deck and return that card to the deck. Shuffle it into the deck. Then, if you shuffled into your deck one monster from into your deck, you can destroy that monster. If your opponent's monster was shuffled into their deck, you can negate the effect. However, what we're going to do is activate the effect to special summon back a Thunder Dragon from our Banish Zone. From here, what we can do is, if we can't break their board, we can still go directly into SP Little Knight, which will let us get another banish. So what do we have? We still have the same board we set up last time, but it's pretty consistent on what we've done. All right, finally, we get to take a look at our last board, which is going to be the hand from us going first. So give me 1 second here, guys, and I'll go ahead and get that rolling. In this case, I will note that you didn't have to use the Assault Synchron at all. We could have passed on the Cross Sheep effect to revive. However, we did end up lowering our opponent's monsters by 700 attack since an Xyz monster was summoned to its arrow. In this case, though, I will also note that Crystal Wing, when it attacks a level 5 or higher monster, it gains the current attack of that monster during the battle calc. So, from here, we'll go ahead and get started with our next next hand, I should say. All right. So, let's go ahead and see what we can do with our going first hand. We got a Bestial Rebellion, a Darkus Diabolos, Lord of the Lair, Chaos Emperor Dragon of Armageddon, a Thunder Dragon Roar, and a Tuning, which is really good. All right, so this is how we're going to go. We'll go ahead and activate Bestial Rebellion, discarding to add a Bestial from our deck to our hand. We'll add Bestial Magnemite, so we can have that capability of getting that search later on. However, what we're going to do is activate Tuning in our hand, allowing us to add a Quick Draw Synchron and sending the top card of our deck to the graveyard. So what we'll do is we'll send Bestial Saronir to the graveyard. So what we'll do is we'll summon Quick Draw Synchron by discarding Thunder Dragon Roar. We'll then special summon Bestial Magnemite by banishing the Thunder Dragon Roar to allow us to special summon a Thunder Dragon Dark from our deck to our field. What we can do next is go ahead and quick synchro into the one and only Ultimaya Tzolk'in. From here, what we can do is go into Bestial Rebellion by attributing Magnemite, since we've already activated the effect, to add one at the end step. And then we can place one continuous spell and trap from our field face up onto the field. That is a branded spell or trap. We'll go ahead and get Branded Regained onto the board. Since a dragon or a dark monster I control was tributed, what we can then do is special summon Darkus Diabolos, Lord of the Lair, from our hand to the field. We'll next go ahead and then special summon Chaos Emperor Dragon of Armageddon by banishing, once again, a light and a dark. So we'll have to hold off on that. I did skip ahead a little bit. So what we could do is we'll go ahead and take these two. We'll do Lord of the Lair and Bestial Rebellion. No, Ultimaya and Bestial Rebellion. Yep. Sorry, I'm trying to think this through. And we'll go directly into Cross Sheep. We'll next special summon this by banishing a light and a dark monster. We'll go ahead and banish the Lubellion and the Thunder Dragon Dark. Now, the effect of Branded Regained will trigger where we can target one of those banished monsters, place it on the bottom of the deck, and then draw one. We'll go ahead and add the Bestial Lubellion to the bottom of the deck, and then draw one card. Okay, so we're not nearly as bad off as where we were. So what we can do from here is special summon the Assault Synchron. And then we can go from here and go directly into Bestial Dissipator by synchroing with these two. This will go to the top of the extra deck. And then we can go for Thunder Dragon Roar to be special summon and defense. Now, since we've already activated the effect, we haven't activated the effect in hand, we can still do a couple other things. In this case, we'll go ahead and take these two and go directly into our best bet would probably be IP Masquerena. What we can then do at the end, before we go to end step, is activate Diabolos effect. Tribute one dark monster. Your opponent places one card from their hand onto on either the top or the bottom of the deck. We'll go ahead and tribute Lord of the Lair, or we could have left Thunder Dragon Roar on board with Cross Sheep. So there's two different ways that you could have done this. If you wanted to leave a bigger beater, I would recommend tributing off Thunder Dragon Roar. But if not, I would have done these two. I couldn't have gone into IP. So never mind. This is probably the best way to go through it. So this effect to trigger off the Thunder Dragon Roar. And you can do that as a fun little end step effect before you, or at the end of main phase effect. Allowing you to tribute it off and then special send one card from their hand onto the top of the deck or bottom of their deck. And then this is in our extra deck. So this would basically be our end board from now. Now, we would also have a Bestial Druid Swarm in hand, which would allow us to get a couple of things for next turn. Sorry, I'm stumbling through this a little bit, guys. I'm still getting used to this. But, yeah, so we have the one Bestial Druid Swarm that we're going to add from our deck to our hand at the end step. We have already placed one card, so they're starting at 4 cards in hand. We have a negate and a monster that basically can help us with lowering our opponent's monster's attack, special summon level 4, or increase our monster's attack by 700 if we get a fusion, a synchro, or an Xyz. So during our opponent's turn, what we could do is banish Thunder Dragon Roar, get Druid Swarm onto the board, and then get a Thunder Dragon card to special summon. So they can't really be over us immediately. And go into Thunder Dragon Dark. From here, they would have to play through at least the Bestial effect of the negate or destruction, along with being able to beat through our monsters. And even if they do, we do have ways of recurring around into our next turn. So for example, if Thunder Dragon Dark gets sent by battle or just leaves the field by a card effect, we can then add a Thunder Dragon Hawk, so we can revive one back next turn, go immediately into Colossus. Druid's Worm then allows us to send one card from their field to the graveyard. If we go into Thunder Dragon Colossus and Diabolus is in the graveyard, we can then summon him back when we make Colossus by attributing Thunder Dragon Dark. There's a lot of capability for follow-up next turn. One other thing I will state is Regained would trigger here, allowing me to shuffle this back, place it on the bottom, and then draw one card, which is even better because then we start off with Thunder Dragon in our hand as well. So like I said, there's a lot of capability in which you can do for this deck. I hope you did enjoy the video, and thank you for sitting through this with me. We'll go ahead and have this up and running, and I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did enjoy the video today, please go ahead and hit that like and subscribe. It does help me out, and I greatly appreciate it. Catch you guys in the next one.
Is it okay if I'm to say I'm catching feelings from all the dealings? Am I astray? What do you say? How are you feeling? Is it the same?